All right, and we back with another episode of Deez Sports Nuts. I'm your
You
co-host,
dig?
Fed. Y'all here, introduce yourself.
Go ahead,
I'm
Lil
like,
O.
I'm Lil O Junior, Orlando, whatever y'all want to call me.
And it's your boy Iami back at it.
All right. Well, we gonna before we get into it, man, we gonna start off with a shot, man. Get everybody nice and loose and warmed up. You know what I'm saying?
I got my shot of Lysol.
Courtesy of number 45, huh?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I got some Comet in my shot.
There you go.
I got the pine saw. Vanilla pine saw.
All right, y'all ready? Let's
Cheers.
go.
Cheers.
Ah. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
All right.
Let's go ahead and
That's
get
how you
into
start
it.
it off.
Woo. Nice and warm and loose. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
we just gonna recap episode 1 and 2, man, of The Last Dance. So since y'all, especially Unc, since you die hard Bulls fan, you saw it from the beginning. What's your thoughts on
Yeah.
episode 1 and 2? Like, what kind of stuck out to you the most?
First of all, I am so glad that they released this and released it early due to the fact that we all stuck in the house and can't go nowhere, can't do normal life. So by them releasing it early, it was great because now you got something to look at and look forward to. And being a diehard Bulls fan who grew up watching Jordan when he first came on the scene and Scotty and Horace Grant and all those guys, this was great for me. I mean, it was epic. I mean, I had goosebumps. I had tears in my eyes watching it. The emotions, it was almost as if I was back in the 90s with them as they went on this run from the beginning. Like I said, I've been a Bulls fan since I was like 12 back in 85, the year after Jordan came in. When Michael first came to the Bulls, at that time, I was still a Lakers fan. That was the first team I known in the NBA was the Lakers, and Magic Johnson was my favorite player because one of my good friends, he was like a big brother to me. I was a little guy, and he was the first one to let me play ball with the big guys. JB, what's up, man? Shout out to JB. He let me play with the big guys, and he always called me Magic, Magic, Magic. So I started watching Magic and the Lakers. That's how that became my favorite team. And then I wasn't even watching my own hometown Bulls. And then Jordan came on the scene, and then in '85, I started looking at the Bulls and got into them. And next thing you know, I'm a diehard Bulls fan, and I've been that way ever since. So watching the documentary or however you want to call it, has been great for me. Everything that happened, everything they showed, I remember all of it. And it's like it was yesterday. So I really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the third episode coming on tomorrow night, the third and fourth episode. We'll see what that's like.
All right, Lil O.
Man, yeah. I mean, for me, obviously, I wasn't born yet. I was born in '93 while they was in the midst of their run, getting all their rings and whatnot. But it was just crazy, man, to look back and see, like, college Jordan and just seeing more stuff in detail, just really seeing how young he was and stuff, and seeing how he just developed from college to the NBA, and then playing the Celtics, how he was just killing them. And then even just hearing some of the things that just sound crazy nowadays, hearing they was saying how they wish Jordan was 7 feet tall, but he not. Cause that's back in the day when big man was the leaders of the league.
Yeah.
So, being 6'6" wasn't really cutting it. You got to be a big man to really stand out in the league like that, unless you was like Magic Johnson, was a point guard, 6'9". But it was just crazy to think about that now because, nowadays 6'6", the perfect height to be in the league right now. So it's like it's crazy to see that he changed all that, and then just seeing everything from the start, like that him hitting that big shot in college, that first shot where he said that kind of gave him the confidence to start doing stuff like that. I'm like, dang, okay, so that's where it really started at. Then from that point, he just kept going with it, went to the NBA, wasn't trying to ever lose. He saw all that stuff happening with his teammates doing drugs and stuff. He was like, nah, I'm not into that. He didn't get wrapped into that. I'm like, okay.
That's all he say.
That's what he said. So as far as we know, but yeah, it was just all those 2 episodes was cool to see, man. And obviously, the second episode talking about Pippen and how underpaid he was. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
And
man.
I think everybody kind of had some points. Jordan had a point, but Pippen also had a point too about why he was acting the way he was. But I don't know, just tough times.
Yeah. One of the things I took away, well, immediately would cross my mind is like Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf. Like Jerry Krause really get the brunt of the blame for breaking the team up because he was the manager, but the owner got the last say. You know what I'm saying? Like, why ain't Reinsdorf jump in and be like, you know what? No, we're not breaking this up. Like, we got a good thing going. Let's ride this out and see how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, he literally put all the responsibility into Jerry Krause's hands, and he had the little man complex because he wasn't getting his props like Jordan was getting all his props, and your boy got butthurt because his name wasn't being brought up for putting the team together. I just think the owner should get as much blame as Jerry Krause gets for breaking up the Bulls, man.
I see that, and I'm okay with people who feel that way because I think some of the blame could go to the owner. But I think also the owner hires the general manager to do the general manager's job. And I don't think the owners want to step in or step over. Sometimes it may be a reason to do it, and if it's ever a reason to do it, would be this: don't break up a dynasty. If you win it, keep it going. So I can see people saying, "Hey, step in," but I also understand the owner saying, "Hey, I hired him to do a job, and that's his job, and he makes those decisions. I didn't step in the past when he made this move and this move and this move, but now I'm going to step in now for this. I'm going to let him do what he do. This is what I hired him for it." So I see that's what maybe Reinsdorf was thinking. That's probably his line of thinking. But I also can see him saying, man, listen, we don't want to mess this up. We don't want the city hating us. And not only the city hating us for doing this, but future basketball stars may not want to come here because look at what we're doing and how we treat these players. So, yeah, maybe he should have stepped in. That's why I say some of the blame go to him, but I also understand him staying back and letting his guy, Jerry Krause, do his job. Because, as you can see, most owners don't step in. Now, he did step in with Phil Jackson for the last dance, for the 97-98 season. He flew out to Phil Jackson's house
Yeah.
to get him to come back for that last year. But then again, you say, hey, if you did it then, why not do it again? So I understand both sides of it. It's just a tough thing that happened. You should never break up a winning team. They should have ran that as long as they could until somebody beat them. Once somebody beat them, then you have all your reasons and to do what you're going to do. Break it up. Go ahead now. It's over. Your run is over. Break it up. But in the midst of winning, you still got the best player in the league playing at a high level. You got Scottie Pippen, the most underrated player that ever played this game.
Underrated or underpaid?
Both.
Pretty much. So Scottie Pippen, for me, is my all-time favorite player. I love Jordan. I watch Jordan. I'm crazy about it. And Jordan is the GOAT, the all-time best player ever. And he is. But Scottie, my very first all-time, he's my favorite player first, then Jordan. And Scottie deserved to get the money. He was so underpaid. Now, yeah, he did handle it the wrong way, I would say, but I don't blame him, not at all, because hey, he he was what, like, I think Cedric, you mentioned, not today, but we talked about this before. You were saying how he was like the fourth paid highest player on that Last Dance team, the '98 team,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Like the
for the
108th
NBA
or
was like
something.
122nd ranked as
Something like
far as
that.
money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that definitely was crazy. But yeah, it was crazy to see how much hate Pippen and Jordan have for Jerry Krause. Oh dang, that's their general manager. They said Pippen was going off on him on the bus and stuff. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. You can tell that he's not happy with his contract at least. I mean, he liked the team, but just all the stuff that Jerry was doing, I guess, just was bothering them trying to break it up, telling Phil Jackson it's his last year. All that stuff is just it's crazy to see that. Because for me, I'm like you said, Miami to break that up while they not losing, they winning every time they go to the finals or get in the playoffs. When Jordan there, it's just like, dang, you gonna get rid of that for an ego point just to show that you can maybe try to make another move and still get wins. It's just I don't know. He took his chance with that.
It's
Yeah,
just sad seeing a dynasty come to an end because of one person. You know what I mean? It ain't
Yeah,
like the team was like, all right, we done, we going somewhere else. This one person.
that's not even on the team. That's
You
the
know what I
crazy part.
mean?
They
Like,
didn't get along. They all got along. They knew what they had to do out there.
yep.
yeah,
That's
It's just
crazy.
sad. Like, I can't think of any other team that broke up a team after a championship. Like, I can't think
yeah.
of any other team that's done that
I mean,
in all
you
sports.
yeah, you look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady every year, is a question that how much more can he do? How much can he continue to play at an elite level? I mean, Father Time has never missed a person. So you're gonna get to the point where you aren't elite anymore. But until that happens, what did the Patriots do? They kept him surrounded with talent. They kept him surrounded with the coach. They kept him surrounded with a more than average defensive team to help him continue to win. Now, obviously, he didn't win for a couple of years now, whatever the case may have been, but they kept it going till it just wasn't no more, or he is ready to hang it up in there and move on. You never break up a winning team, especially winning championships. You're right. I've never seen that in sports before on any level.
Yeah, man. That's probably it's just sad, man. Because Jordan still had gas in the tank. Scotty obviously still had gas in the tank. Like, I think they could have got if Jordan didn't retire, they would have got another one. And if they didn't break this up, man, like I honestly think they would have got right back and did it again.
I think so too, because, and the reason I think they could have done it again is that Utah series in '98, the last final, the sixth championship for the Chicago Bulls. That probably was the toughest one for them to win. Without a doubt, hands down, that was the toughest one. Utah brought it. Utah had just lost to the Bulls the prior year after making it to the championship for the first time, I think, ever. Then they lost to Chicago. Okay, great. But they were so hungry to get back. They got back two great superstars in Karl Malone and John Stockton. That whole Utah fan base was ridiculous. They were so pumped for that team. And when they got back there the second time against Chicago with home court advantage, they really felt like this is their year. And Utah, they played hard. And the Bulls was able to pull it out in 6 games. And Jordan was his usual dominant self, but it took so much out of them by fighting Utah. And I think the next year, if they would have kept their team together, as you can see, the Houston Rockets, I'm sorry, not the Houston Rockets, but the San Antonio Spurs, it was a shortened season in 99.
Yep.
So that would have gave Jordan and all of them some rest. The Spurs came out the West at that point. Now, you think Jordan then wouldn't have been up and ready to go up against Tim Duncan and David Robinson? I'm sorry, Tim Duncan was there.
David
Tim
Robinson.
Duncan, David Robinson
Yep.
there. That would have been a great matchup, and the Bulls would look forward to that. So they had now something new to say, hey, we never beat them. Let's go at it. And the Spurs were young and ready with a great coach, up-and-coming coach Fox. That would have been a good matchup. And I think the Bulls would have really said, hey, let's go. Let's do this. And so that would have been a great series. I think they would have gotten back there, and that would have been interesting to watch that series go. And I can't say for sure if the Bulls would have won, but it would have been a great matchup. Oh, yeah.
That would have by far been their toughest matchup, bruh.
Yeah.
Because San Antonio was strong where Bulls was weak. You know what I mean? Like, Bulls didn't have strong, dominant big men. You know what I mean? And the Spurs had Twin Towers. So, yeah, that would have been interesting to watch, man.
Yeah. That would have been a good one. So, yeah, it's a shame it didn't play out that way. But
hey, what y'all think about KD comment about Jordan saying, like, man, just watching, you know, those first two episodes, he was like, man, just seeing him, you can tell if he was still playing in the league today, he'd be the best player out there. He'd be the best player of all of us, basically saying he'd still be the best. He'd be the GOAT, even with, you know, KD, LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, all them in the league. Y'all think he'd still be the best in the league today? Go ahead,
I don't know if he would be the best, but he would definitely still get points. Like that his mid-range jumper, dog, was money. So he would still get, depending on what age Jordan we talking about, he would still get close to 30 points a game, but he would have to play some defense. Like, we got some offensive people in this league now, man, that give you 30 on any given night. Like, Harden put up 30. LeBron to give you 30 if you want to. Healthy KD will give you 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it all depends, man. He would definitely put up offensive numbers, but he would give up a lot of points too, because these people just pretty much unguardable, man.
So if we're talking Jordan playing in the league today, in his prime, 92, 93 type player, 94, 95, 96 even, when he came back, no doubt in my mind he would be the best player in the league, because his determination, his ability to look to dominate, his refusal to lose and to be stopped, there's no match to that. He was so not only skilled, as we know he was a great player, athletic, skilled, but he also had that drive to never lose, to never be stopped, motivated every night like a Kobe, but, you know, maybe 10 times more than what Kobe was when we saw how Kobe was. Michael Jordan just was, his sheer determination of being dominant is no match to nobody in the league now. So I don't think anyone was going to ever be able to stop him. As long as he's in his prime, he can do the things he's doing. So having that type of mindset and the skills he already possessed, that was crazy. So that's putting him number one. And number two, he was great on defense. I mean, we look at Kawhi. You say all these guys can score, and there's a lot of guys that can score, but you put the claw on somebody, he's going to slow him down. Now, great players can't be stopped. LeBron can still get 20, 25 on the claw, but you will see the claw make him work hard for those 20, 25 points. He'll make KD work hard for those. Well, Jordan would be the same. Jordan defense is underrated because of his offense. Remember, they call him and Pippen Doberman pigeons. Oh, man, I hate to see these two guys go up against and get you on that floor, because they gonna dog you on that defensive end. They like two Doberman pigeons just out there just to kill you. His defense was great. You know, I mean, he even had Defensive Player of the Year. Come on, what guard, 6'6" guard, end up as Defensive Player of the Year?
Didn't he
Well,
have
leading the league in scoring.
Yeah, I'm
What
about to say
year
he had
was
like
that?
everything that year, didn't he?
What year was that though?
That was in his prime. So that was actually before he really became an all-around game. This is when he was just more younger and just running hard and playing hard. This was like in '88, I think he was Defensive Player of the Year as well as scoring champion. So he's doing it on both ends at the highest level. So yeah, we got guys that can score, but they're not playing up. They're not facing a Jordan type defense like every night. You know what I'm saying? You got Kawhi, who's a great defensive player, who's gonna slow down those great scores. Well, Jordan will do the same. So yeah, you put Jordan in his prime in today's game, you got a lot of more athletic guys now, skilled players, but nobody still can match the work ethic of Jordan. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, me too.
You gotta think.
Don't even
You
go
gotta,
lie to you. Hey, cause
yeah. I mean, none of these
Jordan,
guys, I'm sorry, none of these guys now, KD, I love KD, LeBron, I love LeBron. They don't have that determination, like, I don't care who I'm going up against, I'm gonna kill. Jordan, every night, never took a night off. He wanted to rip your heart out. I don't care who you was, what team you was on, what game it is. He was coming out to rip your heart out every night he played. Nobody does that.
yeah, I mean, the only person in the league today that kind of remind me of that, obviously not as good, is Westbrook. So that's why, like, imagine like being 6'6" and just having everything though, like jumper. Plus his IQ was high too. It's just like him being in the league today, still being that like you said in his prime, 6'6", going at everybody. Definitely when it came to playoffs, like man, we're gonna win this game. Cause even like watching them first two episodes, the reporter, he was like, okay, we took care of you, gonna take care of you tonight. When they was playing against Cleveland or whatever, it's like man, everything was a challenge. I'm like, okay, this is what they're saying. So it's like I don't know, man. That drive to win is unmatched. The closest person to it is Kobe, and people like that. So it's like him already being that good, plus having that, it's just next level. So in prime, I think he's still unbeatable. Like, of course, still LeBron better facilitator and all that because he do everything, but Jordan still just would have been the best because he's just unstoppable, and you know he got a team, so his team he would have put his trust in somebody else to handle the ball more, so he can just do what he wanted and whatnot. So I still think even in the league today, because he had the perfect height to be somebody that can be the best in the league, 6'6", plus all the athleticism and everything. I think he still would have been the best player in today. Plus like y'all say, he would have scored at least 30 a game, definitely with the fouls and everything. So that man would have
Yeah,
been killing.
that's another thing. The league today, no hand checks. I mean, all the points he was scoring, you gotta remember in the 90s, you can hand check. You can hard foul. You can do all that against him. And not only you can do that, but teams knew that every game plan was stop Michael Jordan. Make somebody else beat us, stop Michael Jordan. Think of the Pistons and the Knicks and those tough defensive guys he had, especially the Knicks throughout the 90s. They beat him up pretty much. But he still went out there scoring 30, 35 points a game. I mean, one season he averaged 38, and that's without three-pointers. That's without three-pointers. So he's getting 2-pointers and free throws. To play on that level in today's game, oh, God.
But this one thing you gotta keep in mind, man. Like when you watch the Michael Jordan clips, when you really watch him and look at the other players, he is 10 times faster, 10 times quicker, and could jump out the gym. So his game today, he will still score, but the players today they just as quick, they just as fast, and can jump like he can. So he would have it wouldn't be lonely at the top for MJ in this league. Like he'll still be one of the top players, but he'll have a lot of competition and he'll have way tougher defensive assignments because now the big man in today's league, they ain't in the paint. They shooting jumpers too. Some of them fast as guards. You know what I'm saying? Like MJ didn't play in that era. Like in MJ's era, the big man was big and slow and stayed in the paint. You know what I mean? So I think with today's speed, he would still be one of the best, but he'll be up there with Harden and LeBron and all the quick players. Like just imagine if Kobe was still playing, like Kobe gave Jordan 50. Don't nobody ever bring that up, but he gave
Jordan was old though, wasn't he?
He was, but I'm just saying, like, who else gave Jordan 50, bro? Nobody.
Nobody in his prime will tell you that.
Like Iverson, bro. Like we only got a glimpse of what Iverson could do against Jordan. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's that caliber players in the league right now. So Jordan would have to share the limelight a little bit. Like everybody else would kind of be up.
Yeah, I mean, I think people be around, man. But just his aerial attack, man. When he get in the air, just the way he can hang and his hands so big. So it's like he can do so much in the air. So it don't matter. Like, yeah, they can be as big and tall and all that, but you still got people like LeBron them still going to dunking. Well, if he can't dunk, as long as he can get in the air, he's still gonna finish at the rim. So you think about like Westbrook or Curry, Kyrie, all them people that can finish real well at the rim without dunking. That's Jordan. He could do that one, or he can dunk. So it's like pick your poison. He'll go dunk it, or he'll just finish nice at the rim. Don't matter. So that's why I still think he'll still be too much of a problem for everybody.
And then Cedric, I hear you, and I give you guys playing now is different from the guys back then when Jordan was doing all his thing. But you're only looking at half of that. You're only looking at, the guys are better now in the league, so they're more skilled. Yeah. You don't think Jordan would be even more skilled than what he was then if he was playing in the league now? Remember, Jordan, and this is the part I think you're missing, Jordan was the most determined player ever, ruthless to kill you, right? So you don't think with having that type of drive that's built in him, forget about the skills for a minute, which we know his skills is crazy, but just having that edge over people with that determination, that drive, you don't think he'll be like, man, these guys are better. I got to get even better. That's a challenge to him, that these guys can do these things now. My drive is this. I got to stay this above people. So you're leaving that part out. You're looking at it as if he's going to stay the same. He's going to be just what he was then against players like that they have now in the game. No, Jordan is going to be elite, even higher than what he was then, just because these guys are challenging him.
But let me ask you this. All right. Let's say KD is up against MJ. Who you think would have better numbers at the end of the game?
Well, first of all, MJ wouldn't guard KD.
That's not my question. That ain't my question.
That's basketball. You said he's up against him. They're not going to guard each other. I don't know if they'll put KD on Jordan, but they wouldn't. So if it was the Bulls or whoever, but let's say he with the Bulls, they're going to put Pippen on KD. You won't make your superstar player have to play tough defense every night unless he have to. So if let's say your even more question would be against the Miami Heat with Wade, Bron, and Bosh. So now, yes, Jordan has to guard one of them three, right? Which it wouldn't be Bosh because he's too big, but he would be guarding either Wade or Bron. So as the Bulls, if that was me, Scotty would be on LeBron, Jordan would be on Wade. And that's the same with if you turn it around. From Miami's standpoint, you're not going to put LeBron on Jordan unless you have to. If Jordan's killing, you got to put your best on the best. But you also know you taking away from LeBron offensive side because he got to spend a lot of his energy on the defensive end. So now you can't expect what you normally expect from him on the offensive end. That's all the coaches. Everybody's going to do that because they need their offensive guy to do what he do. They're not going to sacrifice that offense for the defense. They just won't. So you won't see Jordan on KD. So you'll see Pippen on KD. And KD going to do whatever he's going to do against Pippen. Pippen going to play him tough, but you can't stop KD. KD is a great player. But you won't see Jordan on. It just won't happen.
Said you talking about like a playoff series or just like a regular NBA?
Period. The point I'm trying to make is Jordan would still get offensive numbers, but he will also give up offensive numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he would have to guard players that are just as athletic as he was.
Yeah, but if it's Jordan in his prime though, and he had to guard KD in the playoffs, I think he still would do work. I mean, how tall is Tony Allen? Like 6'5"?
At the most.
6'4", 6'5"?
Mm-hmm.
KD got locked down by Tony Allen in the playoff series. I mean, that was a younger KD, but he was like in his prime, just not IQ-wise or, mentally. But that was a playoff series. So you think about Jordan being 6'6", plus in his prime when he was the best scorer plus the best defensive player. I mean, as far as the NBA that season, it's like I can't see him going out there and not – I mean, of course he ain't going to stop KD. KD is too much of offensive talent. But his numbers would be a lot better as far as the matchup between each other, between MJ guarding him and KD guarding MJ. I think he'll beat him in that.
And just because they more athletic doesn't mean they can just overdo Jordan. Because, for instance, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you look at Zach LaVine for the Bulls, probably one of the most athletic guys in the league. He's going to go out there, he can score, he can do things. Okay, but do you think he'll put up points like that on Jordan? No. Because Jordan know how to stop you. Jordan know how to play defense. Jordan ain't just an average defensive player. He's going to shut him down. Hell, if you put what's his name to play for the Clippers? What's the little man name from Chicago?
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, you put Beverly on Zach. He's gonna shut Zach down because he knows how to play that defense. I mean, look what Beverly gave KD. It's a little trouble.
For a game.
Yeah,
but rise up open. But
Beverly is a defensive player, though. He's not like
Jordan was.
No, my point is Beverly ain't expected to score. So when he come down on the offensive end, all he do is bring the ball up, pass it. Like he's catching his breath, getting his energy back. So all I'm saying is Jordan would be a little more tired playing today because he'll have to play offense just as hard as he will have to play defense.
No, he wouldn't. Not every game. Only if he come up against a team that got multiple superstars, like for instance Miami with Brian and Wade. Yeah, he's gonna have to play more defense against a team like that. But there aren't many other teams that got multiple superstar players that you have to stop. So number one, Pippen gonna be on whatever number one player that's on their team that they playing against. Pippen's gonna guard that person. So let's say Golden State. Jordan, they're playing Golden State. Okay, you put Jordan on Klay Thompson, and Jordan don't have to spend a whole lot of energy on Klay Thompson as he would trying to run around
screens all night.
No, because Klay don't do all that as much as Steph Curry. So Ron Harper, who probably be the one guarding Steph Curry, is the one who's gonna have to do a whole lot of running around. And Klay, yeah, he's gonna move around too, but it's Steph is the one. He's the number one go-to guy moving around. You put Pippen on KD. You put Jordan on Klay. Now, I'm not saying Jordan ain't got to spend no energy, but he won't have to use as much as he would if he was guarding Steph Curry. So, and then again, hell, Jordan didn't care. He won Defensive Player of the Year, back and also scored, the most points. So he doing on both ends on a high level. So what makes us think he can't do it? Let's say he did have to guard Bron all the time. He proved that he can do offense and defense.
Yeah, that was in '88 though.
But we bring in that '88 guy here now in the league. We said in his prime, right?
Man, he could not guard LeBron and put up 30 points. Like he gonna get beat up playing defense because LeBron just physically stronger, bigger than Jordan is.
True.
So he gonna get beat up, and then you gonna expect him to go hard on offense too.
But them hands too quick, boy. You could be poking Brian ball away.
That's right.
Who have you seen poke the ball away from
Kawhi.
LeBron? Repeatedly?
Yeah.
Maybe one or two
Satisfyingly.
possessions. Maybe one or two possessions. Come on, man. When LeBron throw that shoulder into Jordan, bro, it's going to hurt.
But Jordan also started picking up weight. Of course, he never was as big as LeBron is. But, I mean, Jordan was built for contact. Definitely in this time.
Soft. I ain't saying he's soft at all.
Yeah.
But I'm
just saying, like, him being who he is, of course he ain't going to be able to stop LeBron, but he going to know, okay, I'm going to take this bump, but maybe at the same time I'm going to reach, hit the ball, just to mess with his flow. So that's going to slow LeBron down. He back at the three-point line. Now we down to 8 seconds. Now he got to make a move.
Listen to him.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
That's just how it is. You start once you in a defensive mindset, you know how to do them things. So them little things that buy you time or take time off the shot clock, so they got to make a move quick. I think Jordan would have it definitely in his prime. I mean, he can't get Defensive Player of the Year for no reason. Plus score.
I gotta give it to you, man. You hit it on the head, on the money, Lil O. That's perfect because that's exactly how Jordan thinks. Oh man, I gotta kill this dude. He bigger. What I'm finna do? How I'm gonna stop him? He gonna say I'm using my quickness. I can take some bumps. Patrick Ewing and Mailman and Barkley, all of them beat me up. The Pistons, I'm strong as hell. So I ain't no plus. I ain't gonna let this guy do this to me. So he gonna be poking the ball away. He gonna be jumping around, and LeBron. Because LeBron just don't – and I'm not dogging LeBron when I say what I say, but he is not on the same level as Jordan mentally. He is not. And if you rally him up, if you really just pressure, LeBron backs down. And we all seen that. It's not a knock on him. He just ain't at that level.
It's really just hard, man. There ain't too many players that's ever just been able to rise to the occasion just when they getting beat up like that. So Jordan, Kobe, it's a rare trait to have, man. You just gotta. It's a different. That's what make them so dangerous because it's like, man, they already good, raw talent, all that, but they also got the drive to just want to be better and then not lose, even if they are down. They're like, no, we're not losing this game. It's just crazy. That's just different. LeBron is definitely greatness too in his own right. Getting his team involved, even before he became a point guard this year, he was already facilitating, doing that, helping his team get the spots, doing what it took to win. And he even just got better over the years of being a point guard up until this year. It's probably the best I've seen him facilitate the ball because before then, sometimes I was kind of like, man, LeBron really not all that as far as like a facilitator. He just made people go to corners. But now this year, he getting people in the spots that they like and stuff. So, yeah, he great in that right. But the mental toughness is what it really come down to in the playoffs. Like, definitely finals. It's just another level.
I dig. So let me ask y'all this. This was a topic that came up this week. The three-peat Bulls, the second three-peat Bulls against the three-peat Lakers. Who you got and why? Because you heard what Shaq said. Which is a valid point, though. He would abuse the Bulls in the paint. Like, they didn't have strong bit men in the paint.
My say on that is Shaq full of it. And I'm not being biased because of my Bulls. I'm finna state my facts. That the Orlando Magic has Shaq, even as a younger player, more stronger, faster Shaq. And they beat the Bulls when Jordan first came back in that short season when he only played 17 games, and Shaq dominated. But then the next year, the Bulls brought in Rock. Okay? Went up against that same Orlando team, an even more experienced team now, who just went to the finals, may I add. Well, after they beat the Bulls, they went to the finals. They made it to the finals. Lost against Houston or whatever the case would be. But they came back. So now they got a taste of the finals. Usually when you make it to the finals and you lose, you hungry to get back there again to win. You determined to get back there to win. The Orlando Magic, yeah, the Bulls that 96 year won 72 games, but the Magic had won, I think it was like 62 or 61 games or something. They were up there too. Just the Bulls just crazy 70 games winning. The Bulls swept them. They swept them, and Shaq was in his prime, young, strong, and he didn't do much. Yeah, he got points. You ain't gonna stop him, but they still swept the Magic. So the reason I say that is the Bulls on that 76 team had what we call the three-headed monster. That was Luke Longley, Bill Winnington, and the other guy we had. No. Let me tell you why we call them three-headed monsters. Is because that is 18 fouls that we can throw out. 18 fouls we can give to Shaq. 18. With those 18 fouls, we already know Shaq cannot shoot free throws. So we're going to hack him. Hey, that's the flaw in his game. We're going to use it to our advantage. So that three-headed monster plus Luke Longley.
Hey, man, stop using three-headed monster. That one just ain't working.
That's what we call them here in Chicago.
Call them the Three Musketeers.
I'm going to tell you, Phil Jackson is a great coach. He told them what he needed from them. Now, the other two, Bill Winnington and the other guy, pretty much out there just to foul Shaq. But Luke Longley, yeah, foul. But Luke Longley had that little mid-range jump shot. So he can also give Shaq a couple of points. Well, it wasn't all that great. Yeah, we know that. But he can. He can give you 2 points if you need it, that little mid-range, because Shaq isn't coming out the paint. So Luke, if you look at those series, I don't know if you watched it. I even recorded all 4 games a couple weeks ago. Luke was handing it to Shaq. Luke was giving him some points. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he dominated Shaq or anything like that. I'm saying he was scoring like 12, 14 points. So
you know what I'm talking about the Lakers three-peat though, not the Orlando.
Okay. So I'm saying though that
that's
team
2 different
we got.
Shaqs.
How? He heavier in LA.
But that's when he got his low post moves down though. He ain't have really low post moves in Orlando.
You foul him.
Dog. Okay, go ahead and finish because I'm on.
Okay, so yeah, let me finish because he heavier. Remember Kobe bitch said him from coming in all fat and eating cheeseburgers all summer. Remember he said that? So again, we got our 96 team, so those same guys, they gonna foul Shaq. Foul. Put him at the free throw line. Reason Lakers dominated, Shaq dominated they in those 3 finals because he went up against New Jersey, 2 straight years. Who on the team? Who they had? Jason Williams to try to stop Shaq? Come on. They had nobody. But our big guys, we'll foul him on that. Plus, we got Rodman. And plus, the Lakers, besides Kobe and Shaq, who else did they really have? Who else gonna give the Bulls some problems? on that team. Think about that versus Kukoc and Harper and Steve Kerr, them, the guys who knew how to play their role on that 72 team. Who else did the Lakers have on their three-peat? They had Brian Shaw coming off the bench, but wasn't nothing special. Who else did they have besides Kobe and Shaq? But I also remember last thing here, and I love my Lakers, and I love Kobe and Shaq and what they was doing. Sacramento should have beat them that second year. They got cheated. Y'all know how bad Game 6 was in Sacramento by the referees. And I was glad it happened, but that was horrible. They was beating on the Lakers. So, yeah. Okay, that's all I got.
Oh, Lord. You can't compare the Orlando Magic Shaq to the Lakers Shaq. Like, the Orlando Magic Shaq was still raw. Like, he literally had no low post moves. He would just back you down and dunk. The Lakers Shaq will spin off of you. He'll back you down. He'll shimmy. He'll give you all that. Like, his low post moves in LA was polished. So he would abuse Luke. I can't even call him three-headed monster because I can't force myself to say it. So Luke Longley, Will Perdue, and your boy from Australia will get murdered. If he get them in the paint, if he seal them in the paint, it's gonna be an and one. They ain't gonna be able to wrap him up. He's still gonna get the shot up.
What the and one gonna do?
It's gonna be possibly 3 points.
That's just a breath period.
Right. So he'll get 2 points out of it. Like, let's go ahead and give Shaq 30 points a game. Why not?
You scored 30 against the Bulls?
Oh,
you mean average 30?
He'll put up 30 a night.
No.
Who's gonna stop Shaq?
It's just not. First, you forgetting this is the 72 Bulls.
I understand.
You don't think that so you telling me, because when you make your statement, and I can understand your statement if it's going up against regular teams, but this is the 72 Bulls. Remember, they love that help. If Shaq is starting to try to dominate, you don't think Pippen and Rodman is digging in and get the ball?
Rodman go get Shaq a headache.
It's just saying gonna be like, okay, Shaq.
You got to keep on Kobe.
Jordan Pippen.
This is the 72 Bulls who outscored, whose point differential was like 12 points a game. In an 82-game season, they averaged like 12 points more than their opponent. That means that defense was crazy. You don't think, and just look at them. Look at how they played defense. You don't think if Shaq getting the ball and he get a couple of buckets, bam, bam. Okay, now we see Shaq trying to get off. When he get that ball down there, you don't think Phil saying, hey, get Scotty reach in there. Rodman, help him in there. Don't let Shaq get off. You don't think they're going to start slowing that down and make Shaq give it up, or just foul him before you get the shot off? Come on. It ain't going to be just like, okay, give it to Shaq, and Luke, you just on your own on the island. Once Shaq starts trying to make some moves and trying to dominate and showing some physical presence on these guys one-on-one, you best believe you got Jordan sticking his hand in there. You got somebody rolling. And this team, that Bulls team, that rotation was ridiculous crazy. Them motherfuckers, excuse my language, them boys knew how to rotate the ball better than anyone I ever seen. I love defense. I love rotation. If you move your feet and you rotating, that team was crazy on that. It was almost like 6 of them out there. You don't think they're going to slow down Shaq if he starts to try to dominate?
Who has ever slowed Shaq down? Like, name me a time where Shaq didn't eat.
Yeah, see, but he was eating that season though. But it was heavy. That was really Kobe, that third championship for the three-peat. I mean, Shaq had his moments from what I remember vaguely, but Kobe was the one that was dominating that year.
Right. And you got to look at who they went up against. They three-peat was against the Indiana Pacers, who's not a great defensive team, and then the other two was against
the
New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. It was, yeah.
None of them teams are Chicago.
Yeah, all I'm saying is you're not gonna stop Shaq. Like I don't care who you are. Like he gonna
So
get
said. So
numbers.
who will win in your opinion then? Because you never really said.
I honestly don't know, man. Like I can't pick. Like the safe bet would be, of course, you can't bet against Michael Jordan, but Kobe and Shaq, man, like that's just a dangerous combo. Like Michael Jordan gonna get 30, Kobe might get 40. You know what I mean? Like Kobe wasn't no punk, and then Shaq gonna eat regardless, man. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all may slow him down for a little while, but he gonna eat no matter what.
Okay, so you say that. So let's say you giving Kobe 40. That's crazy. He's not going to score 40 a game, but let's say he do. And you say
You
Shaq
sure
getting
about
30.
that? He's done it before.
Against Pippen and them? No,
saying,
that's not happening.
I'm saying per game. We talking per game, not one game. Yeah, he can go out there and score 40 on you in one game. We talking about the series. Averaging 40, I don't think so. But let's say, for argument's sake, yeah, he get 40 a game, and Shaq getting 30. That's 70. Where else is the Lakers going to get scoring against this Bulls team?
They got, you remember they got the old bull. Ron Harper was on that team.
But Harper was, we got to remember, Harper was really old.
Oh yeah,
at that time.
They got Rick.
So he's
Fox.
not in his prime.
They got Rick Fox out there hitting the three. Rick Fox could shoot threes.
He was
Rick Fox against the Bulls.
Acting like he could shoot threes.
No, he gonna be open. They got to double Kobe or Shaq, so somebody gonna be open.
So you telling me again?
They got Devin George, who was athletic as hell. He cutting all night. They got Robert Horry. You telling me he can't shoot threes either? He hit the most clutch three ever.
I think Ray Allen got the most clutch three ever.
Man.
You saved your boy, actually.
Against the Sacramento Kings, that wasn't clutch.
That was clutch. Yeah. And
more clutch than Ray Allen? Well, no.
Yeah. That was
Ray Allen was different.
Oh,
Ray Allen was for the money.
To me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying that was both clutch. Robert Horry's clutch.
Yeah.
Okay. But again said, yeah, he can shoot. Robert Horry can shoot at times. He's not automatic, but he can hit at times. But again, you're leaving out what the Bulls defense, that 72-10 team, that 96 team, what that defense can do, which was rotation. Rotation. They ran with that ball. So Robert Horry, who can knock down some shots, isn't getting those open shots because that rotation is still there. He got open shots against teams that was not like the 96 Bulls defensive team. Remember, we're talking about the 96 team versus the Lakers 2000 team. We're not talking about the Lakers 2000 team going up against the 89 Bulls or something like that. We're talking about the 96 team, which had that great defense. Them Lakers ain't getting those open shots. They may get some here and there, but not enough to give them at least 25 to 30 points beyond Kobe and Shaq. No. So they're not going to get that much in the series. So let's say, like I say, if Shaq is getting 30 and Kobe's getting 40, that's 70. You can probably count on the rest of them guys, maybe 20 points a game throughout the series. So that's 90 points a game. You don't think the Bulls, that 96 team, score 112 points a game?
Yeah, but who gonna score? Pippen gonna give you 15. Jordan give you 30. What cool coach gonna get?
So that's the great thing about that team is it was a team. Jordan gave you your 30, 32. Pippen, I think, gave you like 19, 20 a game. And then everybody else chipped in. Kukoc gave you about 12, 13. Rodman gave you about 6 points a game. Harper gave you about 5 or 6. But then you got Curry, who would come in and give you another 8 or 10. You would get Luke Longley, he even pitched in with like 7, 8 points a game. They all played their role.
Luke Longley ain't gonna put up no points on Shaq, brother. He
so
scared as hell. Like y'all centers ain't gonna score. They gonna be tired from getting beat up. Like
wait, Shaq playing 48 minutes? Fat Shaq? He playing 48?
He gonna have to. In the playoffs.
He fat. That boy was
y'all act like Shaq was like about to die in the playoffs.
He was. Kobe said, man, how you...
That boy was trying to
In
get
the
some
playoffs,
shit. Damn,
he came into the season out of shape. The boy was tuned up when it came time for playoffs.
Tuned up. Come on,
New Jersey. The Nets.
you reaching. He was tuned up.
And y'all better get Shaq. I can't believe y'all talking about Shaq like this.
That boy was a
bro.
Shaq ain't never not show up.
Them Krispy Kreme showed up with him.
They did, and he still gave you a 30-piece and hit Krispy Kreme.
That boy was getting Uber Eats before Uber came out. They're like, yeah, bring that right here. Under 10 minutes. Don't worry about it.
I'll take a fat Shaq over the 3-headed monster any night.
Hey, Shaq wasn't coming out the paint.
Oh man.
They must have had a costume on because they wasn't no real monsters, bro.
Hey.
Oh man.
Hey. Bill Wennington.
Hey, with the third person.
With a straight face.
Hey, with the third person, John Sally.
No.
John Sally was on that team.
He was.
Yeah, it was John Sally.
Was it Sally or was it Chief? Chief was on that. Nah,
Chief was on that.
Sally was on that 96 team.
Okay, well, that's our third guy. All they do is just going to keep fouling Shaq.
Man,
fouling.
John Sally was 145 pounds.
Hey, but he was from Detroit. He was from Detroit. He knew how to foul.
Yeah, he would have got out. He would have been out the game in 3 minutes.
All right, Shaq would have been out too because he would have been too hurt.
What? Those 3 minutes, 6 fouls. Shaq went to the line. What? 6 fouls is what? 18 free throws.
Yeah.
6 fouls is 12 free throws, right?
Yeah.
12 free throws and 6 fouls. How many of those free throws did Shaq hit?
He hit
3.
He hit 5. I give him 5.
Okay.
I give him about 3, 4.
We'll give him 5 too. So instead of Shaq scoring 6 times 2 is 12. So instead of him getting 12 points or potentially 18 if it's an and one each time, instead of him getting those 18 points, we'll give him 5. So you trade 18 for 5.
Oh,
we'll take that all day, right?
Y'all not gonna stop
the
Shaq, man. I don't care what you say. He's getting 30.
The free throw line is what stopped Shaq. We just put him there.
I think
during Hacker Shaq, he still got 30 points though.
Shit, no, he ain't.
Man, where Shaq didn't get at least 30, bro. Like you just put that on the stat sheet. Shaq, we got to hold Shaq to 30 tonight, guys. If you get past 30, we lost.
All right.
Hey, look, I got one more question I want to ask about the Last Dance first 2 episodes. Draymond was weighing in on it, and he was talking about one part about the Jordan and Pippen thing. Well, not the Jordan and Pippen thing, but really the Pippen thing about him getting that surgery and waiting till the season to start to get it so he can enjoy his summer. And then the fact that Jordan was like Pippen was wrong for that and all that. Draymond has said he was like he was disappointed in Jordan because you're supposed to ride for your teammate and all that. What y'all think about that?
I agree. That's a good thing to bring up, man. So Jordan making 6 times as much as the rest of the team. Like his contract,
you talking about that 1 year?
Yeah, his contract was more than half of the whole team salary. So he said Scottie Pippen was being selfish. I'm like, damn, bro. You making about 5 times as much as this man, and you want to call him selfish for trying to get some more bread, and he the second best player in the NBA. Like, when I heard Jordan say that, I was like, ooh, bro. Like, nah, Pippen ain't being selfish. he being woke. He is
I
grossly
think,
underpaid as the top player in the NBA, man. Like,
yeah,
that's facts.
yeah,
And
and
they talking
everybody
about
do that.
trading him. So he like, you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah,
Y'all gonna trade me? All right, I'm gonna push my surgery back. Trade this now.
yeah. They didn't talk about that also trading him stuff enough because
After.
they actually was going to trade him. They was trying to get T-Mac
Yeah.
from Toronto for Scotty. But if you notice, so here's a couple things about that. I can see the Bulls looking to trade Scotty that year because they knew, because of Jerry Krause saying, this is it. After this is over. Well, Scotty was under contract until that end of that year anyway. He was a free agent the next year. So they knew he was going to leave. So anytime you know your star player is leaving next year, well, your number one thing is to try to trade him, to try to get some kind of value back, because if you don't, you go lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
So, of course, looking to try to trade Pippen is the right thing for the Bulls to do, since they didn't put themselves in that situation about breaking the team up anyway. So that's one thing. I think Jordan, yes, you ride and die for your teammates. But I think because it's now a document instead of just an interview during the time, it's a document about what happened. I think that's the reason Jordan will be honest about Pippen being, his feeling on Pippen being selfish. Now, do we think Pippen was selfish? In a way, to his teammates, to them, to Phil. Phil said, hey, this is it. They already breaking us up after this. We know this is the end. This is the last dance. So everybody know this is going to be it. Where Pippen, let's get ready and do it all for this last dance. Let's go, be ready, so we can go and win the championship. So that's why I think Jordan feel like he was selfish, not against the front office, but against us players, and our coach, who this last dance is, let's go out on top. Let's go out on top. And so that's what I feel like Jordan meant for that. Now, is Jordan right for thinking that? Well, I can say, yeah, if we trying to do this and end it on this, end it on top. But also, it's not selfish because they dicking him. So I can look at it both ways. So Draymond, what Draymond said, I can agree with it and I can disagree with it. It's hard to even say it. I understand both sides of it. I don't think Jordan would have said that if this was an interview in the season when the season started and Pippen not in and they asked him Jordan. He would have never said that. He even told them, y'all talk to Scotty. When they asked him about Scotty, talk to Scotty. But now that it's history and they making a document about it, with Jordan opening up and being as honest as he possibly can, and he felt like Scotty was being selfish. I don't think it's a wrong thing at this particular time doing it. Had he said it during that time, yeah, you ride with your teammates. But that's just my 2 points. Really quick, before y'all say something, I just want you to know, said Shaq against the New Jersey Nets, who ain't got no center to stop him, only averaged 27 points a game. It was Kobe doing everything else.
Did you say only 27?
Yeah, only 27 against nobody. Against nobody.
You can't say only 27, bro. That's 3 points away from 30. That's a lot of points.
So let me pull up his
He said only 27. If I go out and score 27 in the NBA game, a ball.
Oh,
Hold on. I actually hit the wrong one. I hit the wrong one. Go ahead, bring up another topic.
No, I just wanted to say about that. As far as what Draymond said, he was disappointed in Jordan. I think, I feel both sides too, because it's like, you feel Pippen and you want him to get money, but at the same time, man, this y'all last year together. So might as well just try to go on the high note. I doubt they do anything to change it at this point. It's your last year. But, Chicago definitely was wrong in that, definitely seeing the player that Pippen became They should have renegotiated his contract, gave him an extension to give him a lot more money because he was, shoot. Even look back now, who better than Pippen on the Bulls roster ever besides Jordan? It's
Nobody.
like that man, and then, they was giving out money, so he should have got more money for sure, man. But I see both sides of it. I think, everybody, if you doing it for you should have did. I think he should have did it for his teammates. This our last year. Let me try to go out. But I also don't blame him though, because it's like, man, I'm getting this money, but it's also on him for that too, and which I also don't blame him for, because he wanted to take care of his family, so he signed that bad contract. So it was just all bad, but he ended up making some more money once he left the Bulls anyways, then came back and made more money with them. So,
I think I kind of, I don't know. I understand why Pippen did it. It would be hard for me to give my all on the basketball court when damn Luke Longley making more money than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm leading the team in 3 different categories. So mentally, it would be hard for me to get in that space to where I need to play when it's like, damn, when you don't feel like you're getting your worth, it just ruins everything for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
maybe in regular season, but playoffs, you want to. At the end of the day, you want to win. I don't know.
It'll be hard for me,
but
man.
regular
Because
season,
you got to see him. You're practicing with these players every day. You're like, man, I'm 10 times better than this dude, but he making twice as much as me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But part of the blame is Pippen, because even the owner told him, like, this is not
don't sign
deal.
that contract.
You know what I mean? Like, don't do it. But Pippen was like, I got to get this
I need this money.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I need
I
the
see
security.
both sides.
He had remember, Scotty had a back injury back then in '91, and it was a possibility that his career could be ruined now because of that injury he had. So when that contract was offered to him, he said that was part of his thinking too. Hey, I need security for my family. 18 million. I know I'm gonna have that money. Versus gambling and not signing it, and then I can't play and I don't get anything. So it's a gamble either way you look at it. And once you sign it, even the team should still look and say, hey, we know your worth. Let's renegotiate. Now, so none of that part happened. However, Scotty also knew. This is why I say, some of it is on him too, because not only he signed the contract, but he even said it on the thing, I'm going to get my money. My money will come. Even when I leave Chicago, I'm going to get my money. And he knew that. He was still in his prime. He could still play great ball, only being in the league at that time. That was his 9th year, I think, 9th or 10th year. So he knew he was going to get paid, even though if he leave the Bulls. So why not come out strong like you did the prior 2 years, and let's go and be ready to do this last dance and win it on top. You can still come out and play hard. You're going to get paid. You even said it. I'm going to get my money later on. So come out ready. Get your surgery. Let's do this last dance. Let's start from out the box, kill them. Just like Jordan said, in the little team, little huddle up at the thing, let's come out the box and do what we're going to do. This last dance, let's start off right out the box winning. Scotty wasn't there for that. And again, you can't blame Scotty. But I'm saying you also can. You know what I'm saying? He knew once he leave, he going to sign a big contract with somebody, and he's going to make the money. Yeah, sadly, the Bulls didn't give him the money like they should have and made him, pay him what he was worth. But he knew he was going to get some money, and he did. He ended up making like $77 million over the next 5 years after he left the Bulls. So he knew that. So
it still wasn't that Jordan money though.
Huh?
I said it still wasn't that Jordan money. Jordan, boy, they were breaking Jordan off.
30 plus a year, that was unheard of, man.
And Scotty making 2.7 a year. Woo.
Yeah.
This man leading the team in steals, assists. Come on.
Hey, that's one thing y'all just remind me of thinking about Pippen though. That stood out to me too, man. I didn't know, like in college, that man was when when he was the equipment manager and everything before he got on the team when he was waiting for that opening. That man was 6'1" or something, and then like grew like 5 inches or something. So when he did start playing with them, he was 6'1", and he came back that next year like 6'8" or whatever he is now. It's like, dang, that was just destined for him, man.
Oh
That's
hell yeah,
that worked out.
yeah, yeah,
I
man.
didn't know
Yeah,
that. I
he
didn't know he had so much family either. That's crazy. All them brothers and sisters, and
Now you
yeah,
see why he took that contract too.
right.
yeah,
Of course, he took
yeah.
that contract,
Yeah,
and he was very fortunate. I mean, the the luck was on his side. I don't like to use religion here because a lot of people don't. So, but he was very fortunate because not only did he have that growth spurt in college, but at the same time that happened, a bunch of his teammates, a bunch of guys on that team, I won't say teammates because he was the equipment manager, but a bunch of guys on that team had lost their scholarship due to academics purposes. So therefore, that opened up the school to be able to allow Scott to give him a scholarship because they lost some. Because had they not lost those guys who wasn't doing well in classes, Scotty still wouldn't, even with their growth spurt, they had no scholarship to offer him to play.
Yeah,
So not only the growth spurt, but because of some people who weren't good enough in classes, they lost their scholarship, which opened up the scholarship for him.
yeah,
So that was
yeah.
all a
That's the
blessing.
blessing right there.
Yeah.
That's definitely a blessing. Hold on. All right, so what y'all think about like everybody kind of making jokes on Jerry Krause like during the season, like Jordan was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to lower the rim for you," or "Is those pills gonna make you taller?" Like everybody, you know what I'm saying, kind of snapping on Jerry, even though it's the team, the general manager, like Pippen going off on him on the bus. Like, do you think they should have let that slide, or do you think they should have been disciplined for doing stuff like that? And do you think it hurt the team in the long run?
I don't know, man. I think nowadays you can't really do that. I mean, everybody got their own say nowadays, but that being out on social media is such a big thing nowadays. You can't really get away with disrespecting anybody anywhere. Your teammates, your peers, or definitely not no higher ups. But players also do got a lot more say nowadays too. But yeah, back then I don't know. It was wrong, but it was. I mean, they just didn't like him. They probably shouldn't have been like that, but it was what it was. I don't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, because everything was already set in stone. Because he felt like he felt before that, anyways. Which what I'm getting from the documentary so far. So yeah, it was bad, but at the same time, I don't think it was a big deal. It was like, man, they was really dogging him out, man. Like, it was just, it was what it was at that point. They knew it was the last dance last year. He was breaking up the team that was winning. They didn't want to break up the team, so that's just what it was.
Yeah, I agree with you, because I think the little jabs that we heard Jordan say, "Hey, think we need to raise the rim for you, or is that a fat pill?" Oh, I mean, everybody kind of poke fun at people in that manner anyway. So I don't think those couple things that we heard Jordan say, I don't think those were a big deal.
And keep in mind, that's all we like got to see. Like, ain't no telling. He been there since before MJ, so ain't no telling what they was doing before that period. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Which lead me to my other part of this statement is what Pippen did to him on the bus. And obviously they never played it. They never said what Pippen actually said on that bus during the time. And plus we don't know what happened times before then or after then and how they treated him. But just by Phil Jackson even saying, Scotty style berating him in front of the team really bad, but we have to say, hey, calm down. Just because of that, I think Pippen was probably over
Over
the
the
top,
line.
across the line. And if that was in today's game with social media and all that, they would definitely have disciplined Pippen for that, because it was back then. And yeah, he did it in front of the team and coaches and stuff, but we as fans didn't see it or hear it, so they kept it in house and just let it go and never disciplined Pippen for it. But I think at that point Pippen was crossing the line. Now, whatever he said prior to those times and after those, I don't know, and we don't know what he said at that time. But just because of how Phil reacted to it, I think it must have been crossing the line, and maybe some discipline should have been there, but I don't think it would have been because it just didn't get out to the media and to the fans.
Yeah.
But the other jabs that we did hear from Michael Jordan about Jerry Krause, I just don't think those were anything, not a big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, it is the general manager of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think it's like a hierarchy thing?
But like Lo said, but look what he's doing to you guys too. Look what he's doing to Pippen mainly.
Yeah.
So it's like he's gonna treat us like this. He don't care about us. You know why we gotta? Yes, sir. You know.
And do you think that contributed to him wanting to break up the team too? Like, you think he had like a personal vendetta because like ain't nobody respect him at the end of the day. So you think he kind of took that like, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna break this whole thing up then.
No, I think it became that way as far as them talking about him and disrespecting him because he was breaking them up. I think he broke them up because of the fact that he wasn't getting his credit. And he wanted to show that I'm in charge here. So we ain't going to keep this going. Remember, he said organization win championships, not players. Next, where did the organization get on the floor and race them up and go out there to battle 48 minutes?
Right.
No. Yeah, you put the team together, and he did a great job. I don't want to dismiss what he did bringing this team together. He did a hell of a job. He was great at what he did, but he also was his own enemy. He was his own. He couldn't get past himself, so he did something great and then broke it up. He broke something that he fixed. He created something good and then destroyed it. You know, so with him destroying it because his own ego, that's when the Bulls players like, oh man, this nigga, fuck him. You know, they had that type of attitude toward him then because of him breaking it up. I don't think it had anything to do with him breaking it up because of how they was treating him. They started treating him that way because he was breaking it up.
All right. I got another question, and it's gonna be the whole LeBron MJ argument. All right, so we all know Jordan signed off to do the documentary during the 2016 Cavs championship parade. My question is, do you think, of course Jordan was watching it, do you think he felt threatened or he wasn't getting his props and he was like, fuck it, let's go ahead and do this documentary then so I can, show everybody who Jordan really is? You think that had something to do with Jordan signing off on it?
Man, I heard about that from another diehard LeBron fan like yourself told me the same thing. He was like, man, why he do that all of a sudden? I honestly, I don't know why. If he wanted to like reinsert himself, like, yo, don't forget I'm the GOAT. I really don't know why, or if it was just motivation, because it could have been motivation because that was such a great story for LeBron to win in his home, not his hometown, but his home state. So it could be that raised him to want to do it. I don't know why. I don't see Jordan as being the jealous type though. I mean, this generation, LeBron is the GOAT for the most part. Some people like myself still would say Jordan just from knowing everything that I've seen and whatnot. Not that I was there watching every game or every season or anything, but just knowing what I know, I feel like Jordan is still the GOAT. But I don't see him as being a jealous type for real, but it was kind of weird how that played out, that it happened after he won there. But at the same time, I do want to say congratulations to LeBron for doing that, because that was something great to win in his home state with a team that was down 3-1 and came back and won. So I don't know exactly what happened there, why Jordan decided to do it at that time. Could be jealousy. I don't believe it. I don't know. Just weird.
Maybe he was feeling some kind of way because they broke their record too. Like, you never know. Maybe the Warriors brung it out
It
of
could
him.
be, yeah. It could be like, okay, they beat that record, but they lost anyway. So
Right.
let us tell the story about how all of this really went down anyway. So because I don't think him and LeBron are the closest, but I don't think him and LeBron are having any beef or nothing where he'd be jealous of LeBron.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Warriors breaking the Bulls record didn't mean nothing without that ring. And Cedric, you hear me say all the time, Jordan would have told you, hey, when we won those 72 games, he said, this don't mean shit. Doesn't mean nothing if we don't get the ring. And that's what we paid for, this ring, the championship. And nobody gonna care about we won 72 games if we don't win the championship. And Golden State, I guarantee you ask them players too. What about that great season? You guys won 72 or 73 games. You beat them. We don't care about that because we still end up losing in the finals. So I don't think that's would be any motivation for Jordan to do it because he was jealous over that. I don't think so. Because if they Golden State would have won the ring, then you gotta say, damn, we gotta tip our hat to them. If they won 73 games and they won the championship, they did what they supposed to do. Great. Secondly, again, I don't think Jordan was jealous. Remember, for the document to come out, it ain't just Jordan. Everybody has to sign for it. It has to be something done because it's a document. And remember, they decided to record this because they knew it was going to be a document. That's why it was recorded. I mean, it ain't just like, 2016 and LeBron kicked the butt now. Ooh, let's bring out something from back then. No, that was recorded in 98 because it was called The Last Dance. They allowed the media to follow them around the whole time because they making a documentary. Now, when did this documentary come out? We making it for it to come out. That's why you make them, to show it to people, right? Number one. Now, when do we make it come out? Well, you don't bring out a document on something great like this after 5 years it's been over with. It's too early. You need time for new generations to come around, for the ones like us who remember and was part of it to look forward to seeing that when they announced it. Because even back then, we didn't know they was recording, making a document out of the Last Dance. We didn't know until ESPN finally said it last year or 2 years ago. The Bulls Final Dance documentary coming out in 2020. What? Really? They got a documentary? Oh, so you have to give it a long time after it happened to make it great, to make people tune in. You want to see new generations who heard about Jordan. Even if LeBron didn't come out and became the king, even if it was just Kobe, or if nobody else came out after Kobe or nothing, this document was going to come out at some point later on, like it is right now. It's just happened coming out when, yes, LeBron is being compared to Jordan. So what I'm trying to say is the document was made to be shown, and it had nothing to do with Jordan say, hey, let's do it now. They were going to do it. The producers, whoever owned it, because Jordan them don't own it. Jordan them allowed them to come. It's just like, if you remember Tiger King. Remember the guy who was first taping everything on his ranch? Those was his stuff. Tiger King allowed him to come on and do the document of them, but those was his. He could play it when he want. He make his money off of it. He had the exclusive right to it, and that's why they burnt it up. Remember, they ended up burning it up in that garage or whatever that was. Well, it's the same with this. The producers of this thing is the owners of it, and the Bulls just allow them to come and take them everywhere they go. Jordan ain't got no say when they go out and when they don't. Jordan had no right to say, hey, don't pay that until 2016. Now I want you to pay it. No, he has no say in that. So it's all conspiracy theory. We get that in everything. And if you just look at the basic facts of it, you know that that's not the case. But people are going to say things like that.
I don't know, man. I feel like he literally signed off during their championship parade,
How
though.
can he sign off on something that he don't own?
No, he gave his permission, like, okay, now you can release it. You know what I
How
mean?
can
Like,
he get permission on something he don't own?
they got to get his consent. You MJ.
No. Once he go in that once they allow him, whoever the producers were on that in that locker room to record it, that's their stuff. They don't need Jordan permission to pay what they own. So the boards, come on. So think about this. If you tell a camera crew to come in your house and film your every move, and you allow them to do it for whatever reason, maybe they paying you to whatever. But if you tell them they can come in and film your move and everything, they come in, they do it. You've already given them permission to do it. What they do with that is theirs. They own it. It's all theirs. They don't need your permission to say, we're going to play it now, or we're going to play it in 2 years. We're going to play it at the Super Bowl halftime party. It's theirs. They own it. You've already given them permission to come and do it, but you have no ownership of it.
So
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But with this documentary, they had to sign off on it to be able to release it. Like the players did have to give their consent.
Yes, the players had to get their consent when it was filmed. When it was filmed.
I'm reading now from CBS. They had to get their approval for them to go ahead and release it. Like, I don't know if they worked this into the contract or before they recorded it, but they had to get the players' consent before they actually put it out to the public.
And you said that Jordan gave his consent when LeBron and them won in Cleveland?
During their championship parade.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that went down.
Yeah.
So first of all, yeah, the only way that could be is if it was somewhere in the contract. So
it is. I'm gonna read this to you. In order to get Jordan to acquiesce, Silver made a promise that the face of the league would have total control over the film after it was shot. So
who shot the?
They hired their own camera crew, but it was up to the NBA. Like, it was the NBA's idea to do this. So
okay, so the NBA did own it then.
Yeah, so they had to get Jordan's approval before they could release it.
So what that tells me, and I'm just going by just simple. So the information you give me. So obviously the NBA got a crew to follow them around for the last dance. So the NBA owned the tape, and the NBA may have said, out of respect, out of whatever, we'll only release this. We'll only release this.
Let me read this. This is coming from Adam Silver, and he talking about Michael Jordan. He said, "Our agreement would be that neither one of us can use this footage without others' permission." Silver told Jordan, "It would be kept. I mean, literally, it was our physical film as a separate part of our Sakar's library. Our producers won't have access to it. It will only be used with your permission." So he exclusively gave Jordan permission on when he could release this film.
Okay. So that brings me to knowing that the NBA did film it. So it was owned by the NBA. And Adam Silver said, yeah, Jordan, whenever, I'm not going to release it without your consent, and you won't release whatever if he has a copy too without our consent, blah, blah, blah. So now, Adam Silver's, Jordan, you ready to release it? Jordan, sure.
But he gave his consent during the championship parade. You don't think LeBron winning that championship had any effect or motivation on Jordan to sign off? Like, that's literally the time he chose to sign off to release this documentary. You don't think that had any choice, any effect on his decision?
Well, I don't know if that had any effect, but the real question to me would be, who cares? Real question to me will also be, did Adam Silver come to Jordan and say, hey, you ready to release this? And Jordan said, sure, you can release it. So, so bottom line, my answer is, who cares when he said it? If LeBron is winning, what they have to do with LeBron winning when he signs off on it? I mean, it's like people looking to dig on to find something.
I'm just saying, out of any other time, any other year, why pick that specific moment to be like, you know what? Go ahead, let's release it now.
Well, then answer me this question: why did Alan Silver come and ask him to do it at this particular time?
They've been asking him to release it, but that's when he gave his consent. Like, okay, now we can do it.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'll entertain you, said. I think, but like you just said, it could have been motivation though, for real. I don't think it's malicious. That's my only thing. I don't think he's trying to do anything bad or take any credit away from LeBron. It could be like, man, maybe just hypothetically, maybe he thought that's such a great story, which already kind of been released about the Cleveland that championship. That story already kind of been out anyways. But maybe that was motivation for him to release their story. Like, man, that's such a great story. Yeah, you know what? It's time to release this. Timing is a little weird. It's always going to be speculation because of the timing being where LeBron won the championship for Cleveland, who hasn't won.
What's weird about it? So what? Bron's winning championship.
You can't just act like it's. Look, Jordan to go, but that is a little weird for it to happen right when LeBron won the championship in a city that hasn't won ever in history. Cleveland never won, right?
So does his releasing this take anything away from LeBron in Cleveland?
No,
it's just attention. Like, it's like, why sign it at that moment? Like, of course, now 2020, it don't matter, but I think it just sounds weird because people bringing it up now. But like I said, it could have been because he was motivated.
So people bring to me, and again, I say that with all honesty.
No bias.
I'm trying to protect Jordan here and being biased, because this could be LeBron bringing up something. They bringing up his Cleveland championship next year when freaking KD is winning something. I don't know, whatever. I'm trying my best to be as biased as possible. I am not caring about who it is. All I'm saying is I think people, they like to dig up some things, and it's okay to do that. It makes things fun. It makes things interesting to make people think and blah, 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 blah. But I think people like to stir up things to try to put some type of conspiracy theories out there to make people wonder. But even if, and I don't even care who it is, even if Jordan did say, yeah, I want people to know I'm still on top, go ahead, Adam Silver, release it. What kind of advantage does that give Jordan? What does it take away from LeBron and Cleveland? What does it do to anything other than for people just to say, ooh, he wanted to get, himself back out there?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, what does this do? What does this cause?
It doesn't really do nothing because, I mean, what was that, 2016 when LeBron won?
Yeah.
I mean, if it was going to do something, or if, Jordan, I would say if he had any malicious intent, he would have made it, like, vocally known at that time.
Right.
That he was.
I'm sorry, Elijah, and you know how I get a little
yeah.
Way
But
we talk about that.
Yeah, it just is at that moment, 2016, yeah, but it's 2020 now. Yeah, okay, now they saying it happened then, but I mean, he didn't say it at that time to mess up or not to take away any attention from their parade or anything, so I don't think it's a big deal either. That's why I don't think it's malicious at all.
I don't think it's malicious, but I'm just saying, like, maybe it motivated Jordan to, like, want to put it out. You know what I mean?
But motivation is good, though.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's highly probable that influenced his decision to release it.
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to find even the angle of why do people even go to that? What even make people say
social media, something to latch on to? You know that. You know how social media is.
Right. And that's stuff I don't get. I don't buy into those things. That's why I say I'm being as honest as I possibly can. It could have been shit. It could have been Robert Ory in his 7 championships on 3 different teams. That's some stuff to think about and say, hey, this player won championships on 3 different teams. That's awesome. I don't think nobody ever done that. So even if it was him and his coming out after LeBron just won a championship for Miami and now Cleveland in 2016, but now here's Robert Ory, he signed off on his to say, hey, I won 3 different teams. You know, I'm not even going to be like, just my perspective isn't going to be like, I wonder if Robert Ory signed that off because now Bron won for another different team, but he wanted to show he won for 3 different teams.
The only reason it's a big deal is because it's Jordan.
It's because it's Jordan, right?
Yeah, it's one of the GOAT. Plus, it's one of the maybe GOAT. So that's why it's something to like. Plus, all of this is going on right now while we're in quarantine. So people got to find something to talk about. I mean, you look at anything that's on ESPN right now, First Take or Get Up, they conversations that they bringing up kind of like, really, this what y'all trying to go with right now? And it's just people trying to find something to hype the community. So it's not bad, man.
I guess maybe I shouldn't be so serious about that. I should just go with
you
the
gotta
flow.
defend your boy. You gotta defend your man.
But see, what about that? See, that's why. What about really defending him? It's nothing for me to defend him on there.
You don't think your boy felt threatened? Like they call.
Hey, you let Cedric trap you right back into being like that.
Yeah, Cedric do get me. He I don't know what it is about him, man.
He got you right back there with you. You literally just figured it out. It was like, I'm overreacting. Then Cedric said a few words, got you right back.
And look, and you know what's so funny, Orlando? Because you're so right. As soon as I realized he got me, once I realized it, my shoulders went down. I felt
wait. Yeah, man, it ain't nothing. There's something to latch on to, man. That's all it is.
He get me all the time, man. All the time. I gotta give you a drink to that, man. You had me up there like I'm wetting a little bit. I don't even know.
Y'all know what it is. Windy City.
Windy City. That was good. That was good. Like you're right. As soon as I realized, like, what am I doing? He got me again. I just laughing.
Instantly.
Most people can't help it, bro. Like most people can't help it. Like that's why I miss the playoffs, man. Like during the playoffs on Facebook, I'll be posting so much stuff, and it get people worked up. Like people don't even watch basketball, be into it. I be like, damn. I just sit back and look like, man, I started all this.
I know. I've been saying that. That's good though. The people, I don't know.
You the only. It's you and one other person that be like, I got an inbox one day from one of my boys. He be like, man, I know you be trolling. He be like, man, I'll be wanting to respond so bad, but I know you trolling.
I know. It'd be so hard. I'd be like, oh my God. It's like a fish. You know it's dangerous to take that bait. You know what's gonna happen if you do, but you can't help yourself. You're just gonna go into it and you're gonna get beat up. Man.
That's what I'll be doing in the group. You know me. I'll post something in the group and then disappear.
Ray, you do get gone.
I'll be like, I'll post this because I know Santa agree, and I can just disappear. Let you go ahead and keep the troll going.
Next thing you
Yeah, my
know,
head hurt.
me and Ted going there for 3 hours.
Man, sometimes longer than that. I'll be like, dang, that's good though, man.
Oh man.
I'm ready for episode 3 and 4, man. I can't wait to see. I'm sure they're gonna go to Rodman on one of these coming up, and then I don't know what else, but it's crazy. What is it? It's 10 episode series or 8?
10 altogether.
Yeah. So they had their Jordan episode. They Scotty. I'm sure they're gonna have their Rodman, and after that, I don't know who go have a specific episode. Phil Jackson probably have his almost own episode, I would say.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
And they'll probably show.
I'm gonna cheat because I watched a couple of the other episodes. Like, really, it feel like it's Jordan's documentary. Like the way it's shot, like he's the primary focus.
yeah, which
You know what I
makes
mean?
sense.
Like, yeah, I mean he was the best one, but it's really shot through like Jordan's life, and then you show how he interact with the rest of his players. It's like a Jordan documentary, though. But it's
Yeah,
good. It's definitely good. We need something to watch right now.
yeah.
All right, so I got one more thing, man, and we can get on out of here. So this is something I read recently. It's about the whole Draymond Charles Barkley. Draymond said he had more of an impact in his game than Barkley did. I'm gonna just let y'all go first.
I'm asleep. I'm asleep. I'm going to bed. Hey, Draymond, my guy, but I'm going to bed on that one. Come on.
Oh man.
Cut it out.
You just turned off the lights on. It's like that's it.
Man, that
Oh,
man.
stop.
Look, Draymond, my guy, man, and I understand he don't want to back down to a argument or whatever, but Barkley better than you, bro. I mean, let's not beat around the bushes. He better than he do everything you can do, but better. Plus, he has a lot of offense, a lot more than you. So he definitely. I mean, because Draymond couldn't carry no team. Yeah, we seen what he was doing even this season before he got hurt and everything. When Curry was out, it was just him and all these youngins and whatnot. He wasn't doing nothing. I mean, he was just there. It was. I mean, trying to tell them what to do, but he wasn't scoring for me. It's just he's just not that kind of player. He fit into what they got going on perfectly with Curry and Clay, so he can be over there. I mean, he part of the reason why the league changed because he was playing center, but he was stepping out hitting threes. So all that was cool. So he made his point with that. He helped change the league for a small ball, but
Yeah.
I'm better than no Charles Barkley, man. Charles Barkley is a killer. Hall of Fame. I'm not even sure if Draymond a Hall of Famer at this point. I mean, yeah,
I
you got
wouldn't
some
give it
rings.
to him yet.
Yeah, you got some rings. Charles done got no rings, and he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, man. I like
agree.
Draymond. Like what Draymond brings to the Warriors, it doesn't go on the stat sheet. Like he gives them their toughness, he gives them their heart, and he kind of holds the team together. Like when Curry, the rare times that he's off, he'll keep Curry in the game. Clay go through a lot of slumps, but he'll still keep him in the game. So what he brings to that team doesn't literally go on the stat sheet. But when it comes to going against Charles Barkley, I mean, there's really no comparison. Like, if you take Jordan out of the league, I would say Barkley was the best in the league at that time. Like his MVP season, I had no idea Charles Barkley could move like that until he went to the Suns. Like when he played for Philly, he was just strong and he'll back you down and he'll get rebounds. But when he went to Phoenix, like he was running the court, passing, shooting threes, everything. Like when he got to Phoenix, that's when he opened his game up. Like I'm gonna show y'all literally everything I could do. Like I ain't fat no more. I ain't eating Domino's pizza no more. Like I'm Charles Barkley. I believe I'm the best in the league, and let me show you what I can do. So when it comes to basketball talent, like literally you can't really compare them. Charles Barkley will fill up a stat sheet, and Draymond will get a lot of rebounds and a couple blocks, but really won't impact a stat sheet. So that's why I say, man, like, no, Charles Barkley had way of a more of a impact on any NBA game than Draymond would ever have, man.
Totally agree. Totally agree with you, Sam. And I like Draymond too, but you can't win all the arguments. You just can't. And in this case, bruh, shut up. Shut up. Because
Yeah,
you
please.
literally, every time you say something about Chuck, you making yourself look even worse. There's no comparison. You just gotta say, hey, I'm gonna let this old head Chuck have me. He got me, and he gonna have the last word in our arguments, and I'm gonna respect him. I'm not gonna say nothing else because literally you have nothing you can say against Charles. Draymond is great on that constructive Warriors team as it is. He's great for that team only. When those guys, Clay and all them, went out, he couldn't do nothing for that team. And you're right, he got the heart and soul of the team. He's a leader and all this and that, but that's just with his toughness and things like that. But on the court, he can't do anything. He can't lead a team without those type of guys on that team. So you throw him on the Spurs, he's not gonna do nothing. Throw him on the Clippers, nothing. You know. So it's not take nothing from Draymond, and I love his no back down attitude. But come on, son, you gotta know sometimes when to say nothing. Sometimes when to just shut up. Barkley was, man, a beast. Barkley was a beast at what, 6'5"? A beast. And I watched Charles in Philadelphia, like you said. He was just kind of heavy, and he played behind Dr. J, Moses and them, and he had some other guys who wasn't great and saying, hey, let me take care of my body and get my game and get better. But like you said, once he went to Phoenix, he slammed down. That team was a running gun team, push it, and they let Barkley just play his game. And Barkley killed him. Like you say, he was up and down the floor all never got tired. Rebounded, 15, 17 rebounds a game, 28, 30 points a game, assists, three-pointers, dunks, back you down in the paint, scoring. I remember against us, Bulls, in the finals of '93. We had a really good defense.
Game. That triple overtime game.
He even had a messed up elbow. And Grant and them couldn't stop him down low. So Barkley, he told his coach, hey, I'm going to get you 19 rebounds. He went out and got them 19 rebounds.
Yeah.
He was crazy. He's just mad. Charles was, if Jordan wasn't there, if the Bulls and Jordan wasn't there in '93, no way the Knicks would have been able to beat the Suns. Barkley would have had his championship. So, yeah. Draymond, take this L, man. Leave it alone.
With your ring. With your rings, take this L. In this
he got 3 rings. Barkley ain't got none. That's the only thing he got on him. But, yeah, man. Draymond, I'm sorry, man. I like you as a player, but you ain't no Charles Barkley, man. I'm sorry. You just ain't got it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all got anything else y'all want to bring up?
Oh, wow. I know they talking, Adam Silver said everything is on the table as far as them starting up again, including playing games without fans. So I know we talked about that, and that's going to be weird on y'all end. I think it's going to be weird for everyone. But I'm just looking forward to seeing them get out there and play. So hopefully something can happen and they can do something to make it happen. Hey, hell, even if they, bring some fans in and spread them out, only sell you can fit up a stadium with 18,000 people. Maybe let, 2,000, 3,000 people come in, 4,000, something like that, and spread everybody out. And don't have nobody down in the first rows and stuff like that. Make them stay, use the seats that's up away from the players. Have somebody in there. I don't know. I just miss basketball. So
I'd rather see it, just to avoid any kind of people getting infected. Like, just do it without no fans, man, and let's finish this season out because the season was pretty much done. It's only like 14 games left, so I say they bring them back. I think 14, 15 games is enough for them to be able to knock off their rust and then go into the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think that's a nice amount of games for you to get back into the flow, get your basketball speed together, and then go ahead and move into the playoffs, man, and give everybody what they need to see. Like, this would be the first time in history to where, like, wasn't no champion. You know what I'm saying? So I think they owe it to everybody. They got to finish this season like some kind of way. They just fly me in, man. I'll say they don't even put no tickets for sale, nothing. Just come to the stadium, finish it out, and let's.
But where do they play though? Where would you be playing at? Because a lot of these stadiums is being used to help fight COVID-19.
That's a good point.
Like,
they probably end up
here
at
in
a
Chicago,
college.
our stadium.
I'll say they play at a college or something like that, man. I'm pretty sure they can find a gym, and since no fans can come in, you know, they could probably find a nice college to play at. Because I think a lot of NBA teams, well, back in the day, they used to practice at college gym. So I think they find a good college gym and make that their home stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get Adam Schiff on the phone. Maybe we can get him to chime in one of these, one of our sessions.
But no,
Set them up.
Working at it. But I heard a lot of different rumors, like they was gonna pick an NBA champion, or they just might cash out on this season. But the latest thing I heard was they working on the plan to allow them to finish the NBA season.
Yeah, because Milwaukee Bucks is number one in the league right now, but we cannot give it to them. They haven't even made it to the finals in the last 3 years when they've been good. So
yeah.
they can't get the win. Just
yeah,
you got to make it to the finals at least.
Yeah, and I don't even see them making it to the finals, man. I hate to say that. I think they're
exactly
a season team, but they very one-dimensional. If you take that one dimension away, they can't win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. All right, fellas. As always, this was great.
Yes, indeed.
Enjoyed our time together. And go ahead, say it and close us out.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all. This is episode 5, man. So we want to appreciate y'all for tuning in. Want to tell everybody stay safe out there, man. And we're going to make it through this pandemic, man. One day it will all be over. We'll be allowed to leave our house, enjoy friends and family again. And we just going to keep it pushing, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So y'all stay safe, and we'll see y'all next
quarantine.
time.
All right, y'all.
All right.